Stadium. 29 degrees is what it is out here. But as we have a look at the first semi-final, this is Lindelani ladies. The team sheet that stands forward for Coach Nkosinathi Vilakazi is Lungile Mhlongo, Mandisa Fire, Tabiles Kakane. And when you look at the formations, it's a 3-5-2 with Vilakazi and Mhlongo up front and Mzobe Madia in the middle of the part. Biela also in goal. Let's bring in Tulisile Mia to give you the formations of the visiting side.
Athi sibheke ke le formation ke noma ke leqembu ke leCity lethu libuya le Eastern Cape namhlanje ke lizozama ukuthi ke libuye lingene ke kuyona ke iHollywood Superbet. Ngibona ugoalkeeper lapha Amanda Ntey 36 years ongenelwe amagoli ke amane ke la kanti ke futhi kukhona ke nomgadli onzima kakhulu onelisa Manalisa 4 goals in 2 matches kanti ke khona ke nomdlali la uNandipha Aboyi somkhumbula kakhulu eqenjini lesizwe banyana ngo2012 wayedlalela iqembu layo ke iCape Town Lazies naba ke Nono Pepe laphana ke uCynthia osiphathele ke umdlalo noma ke uRebecca Mlife noCynthia kanjalo ke noZanele Ntombela.
Those are the officials. Those are the officials for the match in today's encounter. It is Lindelani ladies that are in the gold and black, and they are attacking the goal from the right to the left of your screen. In the green and white is City Lads, all the way from Eastern Cape. They getting into a huddle before this game begins. What a wonderful build-up from the studio by the incredible trio of Andisiwe Mgoy and Mazette of Mamelodi Sundowns, together with Oli. And that was the way they set the tone of this match. And it is all systems go. And we know the biggest objective of today's match is to ensure that they progress to the final, to get a opportunity to play in the Hollywood Bets Super League. It's been 4 days, 3 days of an avalanche of goals. 9 matches played, 44 goals scored, 20 yellow cards with 1 red and 1 penalty scored. Getting us underway is gold and black side, Lindelani ladies. They are in the familiar jerseys of the mighty Kaizer Chiefs. But Kingswell Stadium in Umlazi. And we know about this beautiful place. Confirmation of the names behind the voices for you this morning is as we welcome Tulisile Mia alongside me. What a history in the making. A woman commentary team bringing this game to you. Immediately the ball goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, and a mistake as Lindelani tries to draw first blood. Lack of communication by City Lads. And Lindelani just trying to make sure that they poke holes. That ball was not really with the much of pressure that was expected, but intercepted there. And one would expect that the goalkeeper will quickly shake off all the anxiety and make sure that she's back in the match. Lindelani coming into this match after 2 matches with 2 wins, no draws, no losses, scoring 6 goals in the process and conceding 2, making sure that their goal difference is a positive 1 at +4. You look at the opposite number. City Lads was one of the best second finishers, and they finished second in Group A behind Vasco da Gama after 2 matches with 1 win and 1 draw, scoring 13 goals in the process, conceding 6, and that will speak to their defensive frailties, as Coach Andile Mkhwebane alluded to the fact that he would be making those rectifications in that defense, knowing what is at stake. It's a throw-in, intercepted by Lungile Mhlongo. Ball taken out to the right-hand side. Tall for Andisiwe Ndesi, of City Lads will bring that ball forward, but quickly pickpocketed by Lindelani, hailing from KwaZulu-Natal. So they will represent the hosting province for the 2021 Sasol Champions playoffs. As we know that Sasol has been powering women's football going all the way back to 2009, a wonderful relationship that has been nurtured by SAFA to ensure the growth. And we continue to be very, very grateful as we get the first corner that will be awarded to Lindelani ladies. The first corner of the match. They have the numbers in the boxes, City Lad, but that's a poor corner taken. Very easy for goalkeeper Amanda Ndien. Poor corner taken by Lungile Mhlongo. Hails from Richards Bay, and a mistake by Amanda. Putting pressure back on her defense as Vice Captain Lungile Mhlongo finds herself being awarded ball in, and a slight touch taking it away from an oncoming Nomfundo Mkhize, but it is Andisiwe Ndesi that will tidy up. Ndesi, he's got some lovely height, is Ndesi. City Lad just hacking that ball forward in search of a very, very speedy January. Onelisa Namasele, the 27-year-old Lungile Mhlongo, sends that ball forward. Stembiso Vilakazi. Well, she had to be quickly closed down is Vilakazi, coming from Lindelani. That's where she lives. But defensively, you're looking at Pumeza, Ayanda, Nandipa, and Yolisa, just making sure that they get their structure correctly. Good communication. Keeper comes out, gets a touch on the edge of the box, but that first touch wasn't one that needed to just polish that a little better, as City Lads and Ndesi comes away with it all the way to Nwabisa Kolisi on the right-hand side of your screen. It is Lindelani showing a bit of skill. It's been a long week. When you look at these players, 9 games played at the very same venue. Tournament being split into groups of 3 and represented by the 9 geographical provinces. Lindelani seeing a lot more of the ball in these opening stages of the match. 5 minutes gone. Lindelani takes a strike, and looks like Siyabonga Mzobe, Sibonga Gonke Mzobe, the 17-year-old, little dynamite in the midfield, full of running when given the space and the opportunity. He's got some great vision. So for the national coach Desiree Ellis, an opportunity to look at these youngsters, absolutely welcome. Forced backwards, goalkeeper Biela will tidy up for Lindelani. Lungile Mhlongo. Nicely picked up there by Andisiwe Ndesi. Coming to the right-hand side, Nwabisa Kolisi, Ntwana. Oh, and that Tabile Skakane is making sure that she tidies up defensively. Ball shepherded into touch by Yoliso Makalima. I wonder if there's any relationship to or relation to our referee, Makalima. We'll try and get that information for you. Nwabisa on the ball, putting her defense, giving them a bit of relief. Onelisa Namasele, the 27-year-old, she was signed from Thunderbirds before making her way to City Lads. Taryn January has really been a revelation in the middle of the park for City Lads, but the chase is on. Keeper, who had 2 minds, almost putting pressure on herself, backtracking into the danger area instead of meeting the ball. goalkeeper in all sorts of trouble. But this is the division where lots of education needs to be instilled in the players. Again, you get to see Yolisa driving herself into trouble and close down. Defense pushed very much up front, and one can see Gosnati Vilagazi just sharing some information to say, defend from the front to make sure you keep the pressure on. Snapshot by Tembiso Vilagazi. Need to be very, very careful in that defense, and many coaches will tell you that you need to tidy up defensively, send the ball up front. Here's a hard-running Nwabisa Kolisi as well as Onelisa Namasele. She's on the ball, she needs support, not many wide shots to aim for. Comfortably into the hands of the keeper, Ngobile Biela. 20 years of age is Ngobile, and she hails from Mayville. She looks very uncomfortable. Is Mandisa, the 26-year-old, born in Inanda. She'll have to run it off. Some tired legs out there. It has been a week of lots of football played by these young players. The Sasol League being the feeder, the Sasol playoffs determining the two teams that will go into the Hollywood bet. Snapshot by Vilagazi, but not getting the radar correctly. I'm sure for striker Andisiwe Mtoy, she'll probably tell you that as a striker, try and hit the target, but those are the kind of things that you'll continue to learn as the ball just skidding off the laces and skidding to the right-hand side. Losing possession and taking an eye off the ball momentarily is Tabilis Kakani, the 28-year-old. They call her Gattuso. Oh, but aren't these names wonderful? Gattuso. If you remember Gattuso, do you remember Gattuso? Oh, but no, she's got to show some resemblance of Gattuso. Well, it is almost 10 minutes. We're yet to get the goal at the Kings Valentini Stadium. But let me introduce my co-commentator, Tulisile Mia. Yes, you heard that right. The numbers are increasing in women's football, and a great opportunity for Tuli. Tuli, 0-0 the scoreline at the King. And what's that?
iqanda ngapha neqanda ngempela ke Glorious bingelele nje kumbukele ekhaya sisho sithi ke akahlale phansi anethezeke ngoba luzoguga utshani la eKingswell ithini stadium siphethe ama semi-final eyoqala phakathi kwelindelani iqembu laseThekwini iqembu ke layo ke iKwaZulu Natal ke badlala ke neqembu lakhona ke eEastern Cape City Lets yabona ke kuze kuzoba ke manje njengoba ke imzuzu iyishumi ebhodini asikakaliboni igoli kokhona ke umdlali ke ohlezi phansi kulona ke iqembu layo ke iCity Lets Nandipha Boyi umdlali ke ngempela ke onesipiliyoni 33 years edlala lapha na ke kuyona iCape Town Roses waphinda futhi ke waqhamuka lapha kuyona ke ibanyana ngo 2012 asibone manje ke ukuthi ke enze njani ke amantombazane ase Eastern Cape nangapha ke uNwabisa Kolisi zama ukufaka ngaphakathi ke boxini leli yabhola kodwa idefender nje kalula ayona ke ilindelani Nwabisa Kolisi unamagoli amathathu selokhu iqalile ke le tournament washa amagoli amathathu ngesombe esoqala first half first hat trick yena ke uNwabisa Kolisi ngesikhathi ke beshaya iRoyal Wizards ngaleyo ndlela ke wasethola ke umqomelo wayo ke iDisc Queen nali ibhola elihle ngaphakathi eboxini kodwa ali abaceza bonke ke abantwana ke base Eastern Cape bebefuna lapha yena uNandipha Boyi waselithatha ke ugoalkeeper ngikhuluma ke ngoNqobile Ebiyela intombazane ezalwa lapha eChesterville eThekwini kodwa ke iqembu lakhe iyona ke ilindelani izize khona elokishini elaselindelani kancane nje maphuma lapha na ke ePinetown omakhelwane bakhona omolweni izona ke indawo ke ezakhelene nayo ke ilindelani laze lalihle ibhola abalinikeza ke ufire nangezama ukungena ngaphakathi keboxini asibone ke ithuba ke lelindelani uyavala uyavula akayitholi support baze bamphazamisa inhle kakhulu ke idefense iyalo ke iqembu lesithileze ngikhuluma ke ngoAyanda Njokweni ophumeza Vimbi 29 years kukhona noNandipha Ngcokoca oyolisa amakhalima iyona ke iback four yayo ke isithileze eyenza isiqiniseko nje ukuthi ke akekho ke odlula ke ngokungemthetho aqonde ke emapalini ke abo ke abantwana ke besithileze goalkeeper uyaphuma uyalithatha ke ibhola unqobile biyela dlale kahle kakhulu izolo unqobile biyela ngesikhathi ke ebedlulela kuona ke ama semi final benqoba ke umdlalo ngo 2-1 kapteni wesithilezi Andisiwe Ndesi omunye futhi umdlali ke osedlalile kulona ke iqembu lesizwe elebanyana ozalwe khona ke eGqeberha wadlala ke ngo2012 kulona ke iqembu lesizwe waye lalisaqeqeshwa usikheshekheshe umkhonza ngaleso sikhathi ke yena ke uNdesi ekhona ke eqenjini naye futhi ke ulibhalile lakhe igama emdlalweni wokuqala ke ngesikhathi bebhudluza nje beyiqoba beyiqeda ngempela iRoyal Wizards ngo 8-1 yonke into beyenzeka la eKingswell Ithini Stadium konke kuqale ngolwesibili ngesonto siyawuvala umcimbi mabili amaqembu azongena ke kuyona ke iHollywood Super Bet asazi ke ukuthi ke iliphi ngoba ke mane afike eThekwini eyishagalombili eyishagalolunye 9 kodwa manje kusele 4 teams kusele iLindelani Citylets eCrusas yase Gauteng bese kuba khona ke iVasco da Gama yase eWestern Cape iqembu elwashaya amagoli iVasco da Gama iyona ke isemifinal yesibili esoyibona makuphela nje lo umdlalo nali ibhola elihle liyacoachwa boxing kodwa aliyabaceza futhi ke nayi manje ke iyabuya iCitylets ngakwesokunxele kodwa hayi uyavala lapha uyavala noZipho inyathikazi bazama ukungena eboxini alithatha ugoalkeeper unakho umntanase ayiphasa kahle unikeza ukapteni angelivala kapteni futhi bafuna ngakwesokudla Nwabisa Kolisi isethenjwa seqembu leli Nwabisa Kolisi uyayihlaba uyayicela uKolisi uyidla ngesithethe uKolisi lalihle ibhola leCitylets zama ukuligoba kodwa hayi defense yeLindelani ke ayifuni lutho lapha ngasemuva iCitylets iyancenga ifuna ukuya phambili athi ngikutshele nje kancane ngalo ke iqembu ke elayo ke iCitylets ngoba iqembu eselidala lasungulwa lapha ngo2000 noma ngo1995 abanye baba labadlali babengakazalwa ngo1995 ngesikhathi ke lisungulwa ke leli qembu yabona nje uyolisa amakhalima wayengakabukhona ngesikhathi ke elisungulwa leqembu kodwa ke namhlanje usedlala khona ke kuyona ke iCitylets yabona leqembu ulithola lapha ya eNew Brighton eEastern Cape eGqeberha ilapho uzolithola khona kanti ke iLindelani yona ngike ngasho ukuthi ke iqembu laseThekwini asibone nangu umdlalo inkosi lapha aceleni kwepali ezethembiso uvilakazi inkinga yomdlalo uvilakazi uzalwa khona ke la eThekwini Newlands West umdlali ke wayo iBasetsana udlale umdlalo wakhe wokuqala ke kwiNational Team ngoNovember 2018 babedlala neMexico. Loyo mdlalo ke waphela ke ngedraw kaNorth. Kanti ke selokhu iqalile lemidlalo uZethembiso Vilakazi useshaye amagoli amane. Umdlalo wokuqala washaya ibrace. Umdlalo wesibili izolo uyena owinise iqembu lakhe uZethembiso Vilakazi. Kanti ke futhi nakuyona iNational team unalo igoli elodwa ku-under 20 ngesikhathi ke bedlala neBrazil ngo-2018. eSouth Africa kulo mdlalo yadliwa ngo-4-1 kodwa lelo goli elilodwa elashawa uyena uZethembiso Vilakazi. Ngibona ushintsho lokuqala noSiphiwe Bottom uyangena Nandipha Ngcokoca oyaphuma ushintsho lokuqala ke angazi ke umqeqeshi ukuthi ke ikuphi ke asekubonile kodwa ke ushintsho lokuqala ke olwenziwa ke iqembu ke eleCity Lads. Bottom uyangena bakhipha ke idefender iCity Lads ilahlekelwa ibhola kalula nje. Angazi ke noma ke lo shintsho ke abalwenzile lubanikeze okukhulu ke ungakhululeki kodwa ke ayasibona ke iLindelani ngakwesokudla fire Mandisa fire njengesibongo sakhe umlilo nali ibhola eligobe eboxini kodwa phezu kwamapali elihle ibhola eligotshwa ke uyena uMandisa fire oyashisa uMandisa fire 27 years umdlali ke futhi ke odabuka khona la eThekwini naye ke usedlalile kwiNational team ngonyaka odlule kwiCOSAFA eGqeberha wayekhona. Kanti ke mangabe engadlali ibhola uMandisa fire uzokubopha emgaqweni uyiphoyisa lomgwaqo khona ke la eThekwini. Ephoyisa lomgwaqo mangabe ungawulandela umthetho la emgaqweni ngiyakutshela Gloria uyohamba nje usuphethe amathikithi la eThekwini. Kodwa ke isco anothi iLindelani anothi iCity Lads angazi ke ukuthi ke Gloria igoli sizolibona yini kulesombe esokuqala.
Have it 0-0 is the scoreline. Well, I'm not one of those that like the speedies and getting the fines, so I'll definitely drive with caution. Durban certainly, or KZN certainly known one of those no-nonsense provinces where the rules of the road have got to be respected, and fire will certainly ensure that is done. Lindelani on the ball, trying to get the ball into the middle for Onelisa Namasele, the former Thunderbirds player, with 20 minutes on the clock. Lindelani, no. And City Lads, no. Throw in. No pressure at all. Very comfortable for Nandipha. They call her Dola. You know, one thing I love about women's football is the nicknames that come along with it. I think PSL fanele sibakhumbuze ukuthi ibhola siyalijabulela ngabo Shaful, nabo Ace, nabo Dola, hey, nabo Sikhindi Sengane. But here we're talking about Dola, we're talking about legs, we're talking about thunder, there's also fire. So you choose a name, but all in the goodness of football. Nwabisa, the sensational you know, when you go into some of these names, you can really look at the names and whether does it associate. Phumeza Vimbi, the 29-year-old, they call him Mabena, you know. And just to share a story, had a chat with the players of Lindelani, and I asked them, but why don't you have ladies' names as nicknames? like Bomata from Brazil, you know, and Bofigiles Tole, Bokabozita, as Coach Vilakazi looks on. You know, all of that. Instead, they come with Siyabonga breakfast. And shuffle. We need to build the brand as Sasol is. But here we are, throw in for City Lads. Played backwards and getting a bit of a slip. We had some rain here in KZN last night. That ball whipped into the danger area. Good communication between Ayanda and goalkeeper Amanda. Oh, that rhymes very well. Ayanda and Amanda. Here, let's call her Emmy. This is women's football at its best. And we continue to drive. You know, this is where the names are made. And just to remind you of some of these tournaments, they seem to be going all the way to different provinces. Tall has tried some interesting running by Tall, you know, just taking that gentle stride. Just City Lads giving away possession. Strike from distance, that would be very easy for goalkeeper Mabisa. Closed down very quickly, pickpocketed, and then that ball just ricocheting off the legs of Vilakazi. Taryn January. Here's Lindelani on the ball. Fire is available. Vilakazi on the turn, trying to stretch the goalkeeper. Perhaps she could have just pushed it one more time and got a bit closer. And goalkeeper. City Lads, that is Taryn January, the 19-year-old who's really set the scene alight at this championship. She former Golden Stars player and also has been with the under-17 Banyana team. So you're looking at a future star who's really been getting scouts talking that are here to see a number of players to beef up their squads should City Lads not make it into the Hollywood bets. Because let me remind you that the ultimate objective of these teams that are playing in the promotional playoffs is the two finalists are automatically going into the Hollywood Bet Super League. Currently, there are 14 teams, and Mamelodi Sundowns winning the league handsomely, and followed by UJ, followed by Western Cape. All of those teams really staking their hand and perhaps fighting a second, third, fourth position. So Mamelodi Sundowns makes it very, very easy for themselves as they have dominated football over the past. But let me just share a statistic with you on Mamelodi Sundowns. Do you know that the first time and the last time they won the Sasol League was in 2013, and that was when they played in Klerksdorp in the Northwest, and that was a final against Ma-Indies in 2013, and ever since then they've never lost a single game. 2013, that is Mamelodi Sundowns. But here we're talking about Lindelani that wants to follow in the footsteps, but here is Taryn, who tidies up and falls kindly for Kolisi. Nwaiza. Oh, those graphics at the left-hand corner. The yellow part is Lindelani. The white is City Lads. This is just talking to the ball possession, which is dominated by Lindelani in the yellow. 107 passes to 98. And when you're looking at the accuracy, 82%, which speaks to the team that is holding more of the ball and trying to knock it about, to get into some sort of rhythm and to dominate in the execution of the plan. But remember, it is not the possession that wins you games. Here is Lusanda Mavundla losing out. Taryn January, former Golden Stars ladies player. Nwabisa Kolisi, 14 against 14. Tabile Skakan wins it back for Lindelani. Oh, some skill by Lungile Mhlongo from Richards Bay, and keeper called into the equation. Sends the ball up front to no man's land and gives away possession needlessly. Perhaps a little bit of a build-up by City lads would maybe give them more control of the ball as we look at the midfield that has been dominated by Lindelani.
What are you saying, my guy?
Very comfortable in keeping possession. Lungile Mhlongo. Pickpocketed by January. And again, possession turned over. Yolisa. That ball giving chase, and can't falter the young players for commitment. Nobisa beaten to the race by Yatigazi. Tabile Skakane, the 28-year-old. Well, it is a water break, and the reason for that is currently we are sitting on 29 degrees out here in Durban. The heat stress machine, it was used earlier to determine the water break. As long as the temperatures are higher than 25 degrees, it is necessary for the players to hydrate, which is very important. And it also gives an opportunity for the coaches to give a few instructions to the players. We also preventing cramps, so taking in the liquids. Here's the coach talking to the players, making sure that they follow the mandate. It's pretty clear. If we could just try and get to see what the coaches are saying. But, if we look at Nkosinathi Vilakazi, he doesn't look too happy with these players. Maybe I could interpret that language. He says, Lungile, hamba ngaku left, Vilakazi, ngaku right, and Nomfundo, just stand there in the middle. But that is what the coaches have got to do at this level. There we go. You can lip read and do the rest. Coach giving them that opportunity. As we can see also, contrasting figures out there for Andile Mkhwebane. He's got a bit of a smile on the plays. That is the coach of City Lads from Eastern Cape. You know, let me also remind you, Nomalungelo Moy, the former coach of Banyana Banyana, this is her team. As we look at the goalkeepers, Amanda Ntieni and Mobile Biela, they have been spectators so far. Etul, these goalkeepers really have been watching from the goalkeeping area to see ukuthi ubani ozozane short, ubani ozozama ukuthi ashayele ligoli elidingekayo. But it's 30 minutes on the clock. Ubona kanjani?
Sizobona Gloria ukuhamba kwesikhathi, kodwa ke uqinisile ngempela ke asikakababona ogoalkeeper beshaya ama save ngempela ke esibona ukuthi ibhola liya emapalini. Kodwa ngiyakutshela mangabe iCity Lads ingamgadi lapha uJersey number 7, ngikhuluma ngozethembiso uVilakazi weLindelani, ngiyakutshela unamandla namanje nangu yena ogudla nabo ngale ngaku touchline. Nayi cross enhle yakho uzethembiso, kodwa ayitholi umuntu ke lapha ngaphakathi ekulona ke ibhokisi ke layo ke iCity Lads, kodwa iyabuya iLindelani. Ethanda nje ukuthi ke ibe namandla manje iLindelani yakontrol umdlalo lapha na ke esingini se-center. Inamandla Mkhize, ofuna ungena ngenkani, inamandla Mkhize, kodwa ngeke ayivumi left back lapha na ke uphumeza Vimbi ukuthi adlule. Inamandla Mkhize, 16 years of age, under 17, umdlali ke webasetsana lo ozalwa eHammersdale. Isizini yakhe yokuqala le edlalela iqembu eleLindelani, bamthathe kwiSunflower, imbangi ezinkulu ezayo ke iLindelani. Ngithi imbangi nje ngoba indlela yeLindelani ukuthi bafike la kuona ama playoffs idlule kuyona iSunflower. Badlala ekhaya, badlala idraw ka 6-6. ayamagoli ke ayashawa ebholeni labantu besifazane 6-6 idraw bahamba bayodlala umlenze wesibili bafike badlala ke idraw ngaleyo ndlela ke yasidlulela ke phambili Lindelani ingakho namhlanje isifundazwe sakwaZulu Natal sithembe yona ke iLindelani ukuthi ke baphakamisa iflag bangene kuyona ke iSuper League bajoyine iqembu leDurban Ladies. Ngisakhuluma nje ngeDurban Ladies izolo ngibone la umphathi wayo uMary Jane uSokhela ekhona ke ezobheka ke italent ngoba izoqala iSuper League yayo ke iHollywood. Andisiwe Ndesi andisiwe Ndesi asibone nje la ukuthi ke isithilethi ngakwesokudla nandipha boy onikeze esinye isipiliyoni lapha kuyena ke uNdesi kodwa ke ibhola base ke balithatha semi-final iyoqala le ozonqoba la uzongena ke kuyona ke ifinal kanti semi-final yesibili eCruisers neVasco da Gama semi-final yesibili onqoba lapho ngesonto bobabili ke bazodlala ke ifinal womabili futhi lawo maqembu iwona ke azokhushulelwa esigabeni esikhulu sayo ke iHollywood Bet Super League kusho ukuthi omqansa ngempela kunzima nayi Lindelani zethembise uvilakazi akanayo isupport kodwa ke bathola ke icorner kick yabona uzethembise uvilakazi nangu zethembiso uvilakazi hayi ngiyakutshela ke umdlali ophelela kashodi indawo une pace une skill uzokujika uzethembiso unamandla uyabahudula ngene nabo ke boxini nayizolwa kumangalanga eshaya amagoli amabili obekhona ke lana ke uSimphiwe Dludlu phela ke uyena ke omqeqeshayo lapha na ke kuba setsana yena ke la uzethembiso ngiyathemba ukuthi ke uchazekile indlela adlala ngayo uzethembiso uyabona nje mina mangakutshela manje vele ngiyazi i-tournament iphela ngesonto kodwa uzethembiso uvilakazi ungomunye wabadlali okuzothi mase seqokwa i-player of the tournament. Uyabona mase qokwa iplayer of the tournament uzethembiso uvilakazi ngiyathemba ukuthi ke uzobe ekhona naye ngikhuluma ngomdlali oshaya amagoli amabili ngomdlalo wokuqala waba iDisc Queen umdlalo wesibili waphinda washaya amagoli amabili waphinda futhi waba iDisc Queen angazi ke ukuthi ke yini oyifunayo kumdlali ofana nozethembiso qala phansi emuva manje ke iLindelani Lungelo umsweli Thabile esikhakhane 28 years ibhola ke ulikhiphela ngaphandle throw in liphoswa iyona ke iCitylets kothiwa abaphose emuva abeCitylets iyolisa amakhalima awubhekile umqeqeshi weLindelani onkosinathi Vilakazi amathemba akhe yabona nje abagadli bakhe bobabili badlala ku-national team uVilakazi noFire amathemba akhe asibone futhi ke nangu uVilakazi nayi inhle pass kodwa offside lephakeme iflag lika Zanele Ntombela umsizi kaNompempe ngale ke ngaphesheya kwenkundla kothiwa ke useshaya umoya lapha oFire unakho umntanase zama ukubeka ke phambili ibhola aboy experience yodwa kuboy bamlahla phansi uthi uNompempe sukuma nandipha hawa phinde ke uNompempe wathi ke alibeke phansi ke ibhola ke kubeke I free kick. Asibone ke le free kick ngakwesokudla. Okapteni walo iqembu lesithi let's uyakhona andisiwe Ndesi. Kothiwa ke abalibeke phansi leli bhola kubeke I free kick. Umsisi kaNompempe ngapha ke Cynthia Valtin naye ke usengene ke ngaphakathi enkundleni kodwa ke babili abadlali banesipiliyoni bobabili uBoy uNdesi uyashiya uNdesi olishiya noNandipha aBoy. Oyifanga phakathi Boy lapha yabhabuza nethi. Angikhulumile ngesipiliyoni. Ngikhulumile ngesipiliyoni sika Nandipha Boy. Umdlali ngempela ke kade wayegudla kade sazimnetha Nandipha Boy. Shaya ibhola ke elihle ke ngempela wezwa ngendaba ugoalkeeper unqobile ebiyela. One City letsi. Anothi ilindelani. Nandipha Boy shaya ke igoli ke elihle. Ayike manje ke ekuthanda ukuthi ke kube umqansa. Asibone ke ukuthi ke bayakwazi ukubuya abantwana ke baselindelani. Isikhathi sona sisekhona. Use isombe esoqala Nandipha Boy umshayi wegoli elihle. Onompempe umisile ke umdlalo. Nandipha Boy wayekhona ke ngesikhathi ke ibanyana idlala neIvory Coast 2014 udlalile futhi kuyona iUniversity of Western Cape Cape Town Roses. Makhulunywa ngomdlalo nesipiliyoni okukhulunywa ke ngoBoy. I-free kick ibekwa phansi badlaliseka abukapteni Nosiphiwe Bottomman. Eyavimba kodwa ke ilindelani. Asibone ibhola ke elihle lifuna ufire. Awufaka ijubane fire ngene eboxini ufire. Angeke lapha na ke emuva ayanda njokweni. Wafika ibhola ke waselikhiphela ke ngaphandle kuthiwa abaliphose. Bayaliphosa manje ke fire unikaze ethembiso. Hayi amandla kuzethembiso. Uphasela izitha ke uzethembiso. Elithathile iCity Lads. Ehamba phambili iCity Lads ngegoli elilodwa eqandeni. Asazi ke ukuthi ke elindelani Gloria izophendula lencwadi ebhalwa iCity Lads kuso lesombe kulo 5 minutes osele noma sebezolinda isombe sesibili ukuze bazame ukuphendula ngelencwadi ngoba ibhaliwe manje yafakwa ikheli yathunyelwa bazophendula nini abaselindelani.
That a goal going back. So we confirm the scoreline from the King Zweletini Stadium. On the edge of the box is Lindelani trying to find the reply and was closed down very, very quickly. 40 minutes on the clock. It's Lindelani 0 and City Lads 1. A beautiful goal scored by Nandipha Boy, the 33-year-old, very well-traveled player who used to play, or who was on the books of UWC. But we also got to look at the ball possession, and we spoke about the fact that it's ball possession that does not win you matches, but making use of the shots on target. We're looking at a good ratio with 5 attempts, 3 of those on target, really giving the dividends to the City Lads. Chasing the match is Lindelani. They have to dig deep. They have 5 minutes. It's crucial 5 minutes in this match to focus, to believe, to hold on and not concede as we see the goal scorer given the responsibility. Nice and lanky player is Nandi Paboy, part of the national setup, and you can see the technicalities associated with the player. She has been nurtured very well. Decent ball away from the goal and searching for the captain, that is Andisiwe Ndesi. Didn't really get a hold of that, and that ball just going over the top. They call her tall as Andisiwe Ndesi. That ball, as you can see, is getting and floating away from the danger area. And looking at the numbers in the box, 3 white shirts. Perhaps they need to just put a little bit more numbers, more white shirts in the box and put the defense under pressure. Free kick as Rebecca Malife, who hails from Mahopane. She was part of the Varsity Cup in 2014 and is also part of the referees at the Hollywood Bets. Mandisa Fire, Vilagazi. He has 3, trying to take 1 too many players, running into trouble. Here is Kolisi, who won Diski Queen against Royal Wizards. Here's the goal scorer, Nandi Paboy. If given the space, if given the room, she will rip you apart. She wins a corner for City Lads. Corner. Under pressure, and really, as we have a look at a player down, looks like Stembiso Vilagazi, and who also former Banyana's setup. He's got 1 goal to her name in the national colors. Well, she's ran her socks off so far. She's really been the busy player. This is how she got injured. And could she have been carrying an injury from the previous matches? Not that much malice in that particular challenge, but it definitely has been a tournament with 6 shots, 3 crosses, being helped up to her feet by goalkeeper Ngobile.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna put Kota right into line. Next.
As she being helped off the park with 3 goals in this tournament. You'll remember her brace in the previous match is Zetembiso. Sure, Simpiwe Dludlu, who is somewhere in the crowd, who's looking on, and a good couple of coaches. So we have a look at Onelisiwa taking that corner with some purpose, but it's hacked away. Lindelani down to 10 men on the park, header away, falling kindly for Onelisiwa. The 27-year-old back in the danger area, but easy for goalkeeper. Easy for goalkeeper Ngobile. Just to remind you, Lindelani is in gold and white. So the referee advised us that 2 minutes is what it is of optional time, perhaps for City Lads to draw level. The discussion in the change room for both coaches will be very, very different. And Lindelani on the ball. City Lads getting stronger and stronger. They took it easy in the opening 15-20 minutes where Lindelani dominated the match and perhaps should have got an early goal to set the cats amongst the pigeons, but didn't make use of the possession that they had, as Lungile Mhlongo tries to change the status quo at the King Zwelithini Stadium. Well, guys, we are in Umlazi, let me remind you, and this is one of the very few Kasis that have their own car registration. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that? As a miss there by City Lads. Should have made it 2-0. As we have a look at that, great work by our camera work. They're not going to miss any opportunities. If you look at that, that could have just been a chip. Oh, Andisiwe, hands on your head. Or is it Andisiwe? No, it's Onelisa. She could have done better. You see that number, jersey number 10. Oh, Gosiam. They won't forgive you. But the referee decides she will bring an end to the first 45 minutes as we confirm the scoreline. Lindelani ladies 0-1 City Lads. Boy getting onto the score sheet in the 38th minute. Let's have a look at the statistics and how they fared. You're looking at the shots at goal, pretty close. The shots on target as well. But if you're looking at the ball possession, 43 and 57, and that basically talks to the team that is in charge of the match. Well, we will go down to Vuisiwe, but before then, we're looking at these graphics that tell a better story. That in yellow, it's Lindelani that have dominated, but the scoreline is that City Lads. Let's get the views of Vuisiwe Ngobo, how she saw the first 45.
Thank you so much to our commentary team as well as Gloria Brown there. I mean, it really has been an interesting first half, and of course it is 1-0 the Eastern Cape side leading at the moment. That is of course the City Lads. They will be the happier of the two teams going into this halftime break. For Coach Nkosinati Vilagazi, it will be interesting to see what he says to the team during this halftime break, because as mentioned by a commentary team, in that first 15 to 20 minutes really dominating play and possession here, and unfortunately just not being able to convert and capitalize in that final third. That will certainly be something that the coach will regret of his troops, and certainly having a tough talk with them during this halftime break. But hey, Nandi Paboy is all the difference for the City Lads here, finding the back of the net in that 37th minute to give them such a massive confidence booster. And we will be looking forward to seeing how the second half will unfold, of course, after both coaches get a chance to speak to their team. At stake, of course, is a place in the Hollywood Bets Super League, the highest level in professional football when it comes to women in South Africa. And of course, those bragging rights, it is KZN versus the Eastern Cape. But that's how we wrap up the first half here at the Kingswell Stadium. Umlazi is where we are. We now go to the team in studio.
Where we come alive. Our world is made up of four corners that always begin at the heart of it all. With a common language understood by all. One language that is grounded in fair play, and we love it here. We are the family united by colors, badges, and stadiums. A family that waits for the deciding whistle to either cry or rejoice, but always together.
We are winning the league. We are winning the league this year. The only silver way you're winning is this now.
And this place is where we tackle disconnect and celebrate our differences. Where legends roll and the experience of bulging nets and the last-minute breathtaking moments unparalleled.
What a finish!
A place of pride. We come from all walks of life, but we never walk alone. Because our home is a level playing ground. From Zanzibar to Europe, Gazi to Germany, to the Netherlands, to England, this is our home. Our home is football, and we love it here. Catch the best in local and international football live on the SABC Sport Channel, SABC TV channels, and SABC radio stations. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport. Welcome to football.
Welcome back, and that is how you bounce back from a defeat. City lads coming in from that defeat yesterday from Vasco da Gama 3-1, and they're currently 1-0 up against the hosts Lindelani ladies, and of course Nandi Paboy. All the difference in that first stanza. But of course the studio setup looking slightly different, and that is because we are in the midst of former Banyana Banyana coach and currently UJ coach Ana Munati, who is also going to be giving us analysis on the semi-final that we have just witnessed. 45 minutes up and down, inconsistency. How would you see these two teams in terms of how they played out those 45 minutes?
Yeah, you know, women football is quite interesting. Thanks for having me. I think, yeah, when you look at the Lindelani, they've got most of the players are very young. And then Baleba Banyana Soba Honolala. You look at number 6. Strong, good passes, good technique, tactically away. And then when you come to City led, they have players, yes. But experience, they'll win the game, set plays. Look at the positions, yeah, 47% to City led, and then Lindelani, 53%. But you check, how did they score, and why Lindelani, they can go to more often, Mara is a score, because they're young. Vilakasi, fire. So it shows our hands by progress. Baka kora ba realizes that they were missed chances. Bala ba realized pieces go number 17. And then experience high, 35 years straight to the goal, boom. Hooray. Then while we're not for what? So get somebody that can lead you in the game and say, listen, I can play half as a coach in the game and guide you. Sometimes be composed because you're wasting a lot of energy in the attacking third, but you're not converting. So you look at same as number 10 from a City led. I think maybe she's not sure if she's playing. Yeah, I'm not sure, because she was supposed to be on brace now.
Absolutely. And let's just go straight into it. I mean, in the beginning, Zanele, we already saw Lindelani coming through, showing that hunger for scoring.
Yeah, that was a great chance from Lindelani. To be honest, they've been dominating the game very well. It's just so unfortunate that they're not converting their chances. So I think going back to the change room, they need to go back to the drawing board and look at what they were doing at training and try to convert their chances that they are getting. Because look at City Leds, they only got few chances. I can say 3. But they managed to score 1. So you know, sometimes if you don't get your if you don't use your chances very well, you're gonna get a team, they get 1 chance and they're gonna punish you.
Absolutely. And Andisiwe, this is a player that we were all talking about, Zetembiso Vilakazi, thinking she was going to be the difference. And now in the 16th minute, again we see another lost opportunity to find one at the back of the net.
As Nvumelana no coach, as Ashunjalu, Lindelani inama players, like they have young players, and City Leds inama experienced players. So when we talk about young players and experienced players, kwahlukile, because Lindelani like Lindelani yawathola ma chance going forward, but bayenza ngalo ma chance lawo. Yabo, and then again Lindelani mayiya phambili ayinayo ilenoza plan ukuthi mayifike emapalini ukuthi yenzani, and ba-eda in number not knowing ukuthi mabaphethe ibhola ukuthi uvilakazi uthatha ama-runs kahle left and right, mara makasathola ibhola like bane combination ehlanganayo no number 2 ufire. Mara as a coach achilo ngiyacabanga because I know ukuthi ufire une speed,
yeah,
and uyakhona ukcrossa uyakhona ukuscore as well. So I think coach njemba mentioned before igame iqala ukuthi like uthe uzodlala mara injury yamxaka kancane.
And coach, you know, also quite disappointing because Uvilakazi scored braces in succession, and this time around not having the composure to find the back of the net.
I think as a young player, you can see she's like she's on a fire actually. She's now no longer like taking time, composure. She just want to see herself celebrating. Look at this on the 19th minute. that was a clear goal for me. I was going to celebrate. Why not? Because she's been firing since the tournament started. But as a coach, sometimes like when the ball is dead, like injuries or anything, you call that person, say, listen, my girl, I can see what you want to score, but now you need to have a second thought, second touch. Okay. You understand? Then that's how you're going to score the goals. Because now she's rushing, and eventually she's going to like cry for those chances that she couldn't convert.
Absolutely. And we said this time around, it is do or die. And, you know, coming to this moment, we thought this first half was going to end up in a goalless draw, Zanele. It wasn't to be. Former Banyana player Nandi Papoy finding the back of the net in a crucial time in terms of that match.
I've spoken about the experience of Unati Boy before the game started. I said it's going to play a vital role in the team, which is it's something that we see now. It's happening. She's been there with Banyana before 2012, I think. You know, sometimes you need to take one for the team, like as an experienced player, you know. If you see that maybe you're trying to combine the passes, you're looking for the spaces, and you can't find the spaces, the only thing you should do, like, try to take one chance, then and see what's going to happen. You know, that's what Unati did. They got a free kick, and she made sure that she looked to the far post, and then she scored one for the team.
Absolutely, and even in how it was taken was also that so impressive, Andisi.
Kakulu because free kick yakhona like ibiku left and nayo khahlela ngo left. Uyithatha nje kahle uyabona ukuthi it was like I direct free kick. Ubhekile ukuthi like as ilanoza I left uyishaye nge in swing. Wayifaka ngaphakathi. And again Unati Boy like kule game lena as I play ne experience. Ngiyabona ukuthi like uyayibonakalisa kakhulu because naye like bekane he shot at goal. I think it was 42 minutes. La bekumele ukuthi ayivale kancane. Athathi ilanoza I defend ayivale kancane and then ayifake netting. But mawuthi ubheka ilanoza isithi let na inawo ama chance mara mabafika kwi final third. Bayajaha kakhulu ngicabanga ukuthi if like banga relaxa kancane and umuntu makase boxini aphakamisa ikhanda abheke I player eliku good position and then bayifake ngaphakathi. Same applies kwi Lindelani. If uvilakazi bangamsebenzisi kakhulu because whenever mabathola ibhola balahlela kuyena and then by the time agijimela ibhola makafika kwi final third ukuthi ashoot nami as a striker ugijima yenye energy uphinde futhi ukushuta yenye energy if ngaba nomuntu like angadlala naye like maybe angayenzi up and down ahlale kancane like ngaphambili and then bamdlalele akhona because unamandla uyakhona ukushield ama players so if like ngaba nomuntu omsizayo behind yena bampassele and then asebenzise isikhathi esincane than ukuthi like onke amabhola abawatholayo bawalahlela kuyena so ngicabanga ukuthi iyamkhathaza futhi.
No, absolutely. And for City Lads, they could have been easily 2 goals up, Coach Manati. That wasn't the case. I mean, as a coach, you look at that.
Yeah, as I said earlier, player sometimes body language can tell you. I celebrate. I want to see myself kidlala ko Hollywood. And it's the second attempt from number 10. And you ask yourself, okay, kidlala ka team experience. Is there any player that like number 13 is the captain? Or listen, please, unlucky, but let's try to do it better. So it's okay. It's okay. So do you think this team is not going to come back, Lindelani? They will come back. And that's when everybody will say, wow. So for me, I need somebody that can say all the time when I play, somebody if I do something wrong, and remind it. Somebody will always give me, you know, message in advance and say, hey, get a second chance, take your turn, head up, pick the spot, finish. Even Kambonzi ngakora.
Exactly.
So you need those kind of players, Kamahari, because number 13, she's 35. You have a boy. She's an older player. She played for national team. That experience, you need to come and bring it into the team. That's when you complement each other. But if you just go there and play, then at the end of the day, you start pointing fingers. Just leader by 3 goals to me. But for me, I think Lindelani, the goalkeeper, is still young. She's 20 years old. If maybe she punched the ball, because she tried to answer a ball.
Isombe ke sesibili ke eKings Olithini Stadium ke njengoba ke siye ke ekhefini. eKings Olithini ke stadium ke asibone ke ukuthi ke yenzenjani ke lapha na ke iCity Lets kodwa hayi ke lela bhola ke yasilithatha ke ngempela ke iLindelani ladies siye ekhefini sithi ke one iCity Lets not iyona ke iLindelani ladies igoli ke elihle eshawe ke uyena ke uNandipha Boy ngomzuzu ka38 ilona ke siye ke ngalo ke ekhefini ngizama ukubheka nje ukuthi zikhona yini ke izinguquko ezikhona kodwa ke cha amaqembu ke abuye ke njengoba ke enjalo ngesombe sokuqala ngaphandle ke koshintsho ke obeliphoqa olwenziwe ke iCity Lets ngesikhathi ke bekhipha ke iCenter back Nandipha Ngcokoca kungena ke uNosiphiwe Bottomman ilona ke ushintsho olikhona ke esulubonile City Lets unakho umntanase uzama ukulibeka phambili kuBoy bamthola uBoy uzama ukudlula kodwa kudluleki lapha ngakwesokunxele oyavala ke lapha na ke uNozipho awunyathikazi throw in kuthiwa abaliphose abayo ke iCity Lets kuthiwa ke abaliphose abeCity Lets bayaliphosa ngakwesokunxele bafuna uBoy asibone ke le bhola elihle lingena ngaphakathi eboxini kodwa ke idefense lapha na ke emuva lungelo umsweli ebhola ke waselikhipha manje ke izama ukuya phambili eLindelani ngiyathemba ukuthi ke ucoach ke ubatshelile ukuthi ke esikhathi ke siyahamba masingalithola igoli lokulinganisa sizozithola nje esesikhomba ke iSuper League ngoba ke namhlanje onqobayo uzodlala kwifinali bese ke akuphinde azitholele ke indawo lapha na ke kuyona ke iHollywood Bet Super League hlalisana kabuhlungu ke kodwa ke uthi uNopepe umdlalo omuhle awuqhubeke ke lapha na ke ukapteni weLindelani ulungile Mhlongo Mhlongo ibhola ke basebemthathela asibone manje othi ke uveza ke i-through ball onelisa Nanasile umdlali ke omuhle kakhulu ke umgadli 27 years onamagoli amane ke kule tournament oshaya amathathu ngomdlalo wokuqala waphinde ke washaya ke elodwa izolo umdlali ngempela ke okufanele ke bamgade ibhola liphumele ke ngaphandle throw in oyaliphosa laphana oyaliphosa Nosiphiwe Bottom bamdlalisa kabi ke onelisa ngishilo ukuthi ke bazomgada nangukapteni manje Ndesi shintsha inkundla kamnandi captain kodwa ke ibhola lase ke lithole nje izitha yalithatha manje ke iLindelani iyancenga long ball oyavimba emuva ayanda njokweni umdlali ke owayedlalela ke Continental FC captain phasela ke onelisa thatha isikhathi sakhe ebholeni onelisa yalokho manje ke ukapteni wehlaba uyayicela ukapteni bambuyisela futhi ukapteni shintsha inkundla ngapha nangapha manje ke lapha andisiwe Ndesi ayabonana manje ke iCity Lets asibone nje ukuthi ke wenze njani lapha onelisa ibhola lakhe libuya ke manje Nosiphiwe Bottomman ngakwesokunxele bafuna ukuligoba kodwa cha oyavimba Nozipho unyathikazi defense iyayo ke iLindelani strong lapha na ke emuva badlala ke bathathu kokhona uThabile Sikhakhane lungelo umsweli uNozipho onyathikazi ngoba ke badlala ke uyi-3-2-2-3 formation ke esingayijwayele lena ke kodwa ke badlala yona ke abayo ke iLindelani manje ke lapha na ke iCity Lets ngene eboxini kodwa ibhola laselivinjwa yabuya manje unakho umntanase ibhola lide lifuna ufire uMandisa fire bamkadile ufire asibone ukuthi ke uyaphumelela ufire kodwa cha uyathatha leli bhola Amanda Anteyi olikhiphela ke ngaphandle othi ke ababuye bazomaka okhuluma ke ne defense okhuluma noPhumeza Vimpi Zethembiso Vilakazi ebhola lakhe liphelela enyaweni zika Ayanda Njokweni awesithiledzi nani manje ibhola ke lide ngaphakathi eboxini ekhanda ke lakhe laphana ke Ayanda Njokweni zama ukuphuma nalo ke manje esithiledzi nangikapteni andisiwe laphana ke uNdesi udlala nokunab lapha kwesonxele onelisa jersey number 10 bawuswitch umdlalo manje ngakwesokudla asibone manje ke laphana ke unwabisa Kolisi bambiza ngonwaiza ocela indlela kodwa ke indlela iyavalwa iyalithatha manje ilindelani futhi amabhola elindelani njalo vele nje bathathe babeke laphana ke phambili bafuna uzethembiso bafuna ufire la esenta abadlali nje ibhola balinokhe babonane baye phambili bamuve nebhola bona nje bakholelwa kakhulu ukuthi ke ibhola alambeke emoyeni kanti ke isithiletsi iyakholelwa ukuthi ke ibhola lihlale la inyaweni zethu sidlale asibone nje laphana ke nje busabona namanje ukuthi ama shot on targets oyelo ikuyilindelani 1 ngapha ke nakuyona 1 kulindelani kanti 3 ngale ku white isithiletsi ama blocks esablockeke kanye ke iyona ke ilindelani kanti ke ayikaka block ke iyona ke isithiletsi okusho khona ukuthi ke ngempela isithiletsi ithanda ukuthi ke inyusa amasokisi kunesombe esesibili namanje iyona ephethe ibhola hayi ukapteni uyazenzela manje andisiwe endesi oyakhombisa nje manje ke uNdesi ukuthi ke ngimdala kule game kade ke ngangigudla zinginetha uyawucontrol umdlalo lapha esingini ke se-center asibone manje ke laphana ke ukuthi benze njani abesithiletsi ngakwesokunxele manje bafuna ke onelisa nanasile eyaxosha ilindelani ibhola badlivala kamnandi ngesifuba ngakwesokunxele phumeza vimbi umqeqeshi uyamtshela ukuthi phasa ibhola ungalishaya ibhola hayi baphasalana kamnandi abesithiletsi kodwa ke waselithatha lusanda amavundla asibone manje ke uyedwa ngakwesokunxele olungile Mhlongo akanayo isupport uzama ukushaya kude uMhlongo eceleni kwepali hayi umnyakazo ke omuhle ngoba benganayo isupport akekho ke umuntu obezo amphasele ke yena ke laphana ke uMandi ulungile Mhlongo ke usuka laphana ke eRichards Bay ke la ezalwa khona namhlanje ke uyena ke ophethe ke ibhandi lika kapteni ngoba ke ukapteni walo leli qembu uLondeka Agumede izolo ke ulimale kabuhlungu namhlanje ngimbonile washo ukuthi ke ngiyakwazi ke ukudlala ngaleyo ndlela ke ivice captain ulungile Mhlongo uyena ke namhlanje ke leader ke leqembu ke laselindelani cala phansi manje ilindelani emuva lungile Msweli zama ukuphuma nalo manje ethabile esikhakhane uyakhomba usikhakhane waseliphakamisa ibhola manje a1-2 enhle offside kodwa ke fire bamdlalise kabi ke lapha Zethembiso Vilakazi akekho umdlali othola ama knocks olimala njalo la enkundleni yodlulwa uZethembiso Vilakazi lokho kudala ukuthi ke ibhola uyagcina enyaweni zakhe ngoba uyazethemba uyazi ukuthi ke unamandla uyawasebenzisa amandla akhe uZethembiso bayangena ke abosizo lokuqala ke bazombheka nayizolo bekuyinto efanayo kodwa ke lo ohlezi phansi lapha umavundla lusanda amavundla 17 years ofunda ke ugrade 12 osafunda ke ugrade 12 laphana ke kwanyuswa ulusanda amavundla abosizo lokuqala bangena manje bazombheka ke yena olusanda amavundla sithembe nje ukuthi ke akalimele kakhulu ke uzobuya ke azobheka kodwa ke nanga lapha umqeqeshi khona ke umdlali oselungile lapha ukuthi kazongena ngibona ngathi ke unomfundo oxulu ngizobheka nje kodwa ke ngibona ngathi ke unomfundo oxulu ozongena ushintsho lokuqala olwenziwa ke iLindelani. Bengithi bazokhipha ke lo olimele kodwa cha bakhipha ke uMinenhle Shange ubecwilile ngesombe ke sokuqala ushintsho olokuqala lweLindelani kungena uNomfundo oxulu ke asazi ke ukuthi ke ikupha kuphethe amcele kona ke laphana ke umqeqeshi kuzona ke ezayo ke iLindelani baphuma ke ngohlaka omavundla umdlalo ke uyaqhubeka City Lads ngakwesokudla akodwa ke baseke belithatha ke abona abayo ke iLindelani manje bafuna ke ukuya phambili kodwa ke izinto zabo ke azilungi kuze kuzoba ke imanje esombe ke esesibili ke sithi ke 1 iCity Lads not iLindelani iqembu edlala ekhaya namhlanje engathi ke inkunzi izophuma esibayeni sayo Gloria.
Oh, well, most definitely, as we welcome you back to the second half with 55 minutes on the clock. It's still the lead that City Leeds had. A goal scored in the 38th minute by Nandi Boy, former Cape Town Roses UWC player. She's really been a revelation for the City Lads and continues to be a thorn in the defence for Lindelani of KZN. Group C up against Group A. And City Lads is the best runner-up in this group and really giving us something to talk about. And when you look at the goals that they have scored coming into this match, City Lads scored 13 goals, conceding 6 with a positive goals difference of 7. They won 12-3 against Royal Wizards and lost 3-1 against Vasco da Gama. That is City Lads. Ball whipped into the box, defended and taken out, and a free kick in the process. The referee is pointing to the spot. Rebecca Molefe is pointing to the spot, awarding a penalty. One would want to look at that and really look at that ball floated over the top and hacked away. Keeper comes out and well, the challenge, I'm not too sure about that as we have a look again. She takes a snapshot as Boy. And the challenge on Boy is what the referee is probably looking at and saying that it deserves a penalty. So an opportunity for City Lads to make it 2. And again, Nandi Boy getting onto the score sheet. 2 is what she's sharing with you. Scoring a brace. Penalty for City Lads. Stretching the goalkeeper to her right, but placing it with excellence. And keeper Ngobile had no chance. I'm sure Tuli is upset with the scoreline. Why? Upumala at KZN. She would want to really support Lindelani. You know, when you get commentators, at times you can actually hear Ugutiba support Aban, but that's our secret. Let's leave it like that. What to tell you, support Lindelani, saying in Chelil. Eastern Cape, City Lads in the lead, 2 goals, and both of those being scored by Nandi Boy. Tonight, if you like. Hacked away. City Lads in control here. Second half goals, penalty, Rebecca Molefe. This is where the dreams usually are made. We go back to the history of the Sasol promotions. Palace Super Falcons was one of the teams that won this playoff 3 times in 2010, 2011 and 2012. An absolute dominant side is Palace Super Falcons. And Detroit was always thereabout. Brazilians, you'd remember the Brazilians. And Detroit winning it in 2009. It was Detroit ladies. Bloemfontein Celtic also have won this tournament twice in 2016 and 2017. Bloemfontein Celtic were up against JVW in that tournament that was played in Mossel Bay. You go back to 2017, Kapogweni out in Nelspruit in Mpumalanga. Bloemfontein Celtic pipped. That was Cape Town Roses. And that's where players like Bambanani Mbane came out. Siamtanda Sikei. Those were also some of the players. And, you know, young Lilona Daweti was in 2015 when she set the scene alight as the young Diski. That tournament was one that belonged to the top goal scorer, Andisiwe Mkoyi. Lerato Khasahu was also on song. Mamelodi Sundowns actually won this playoffs twice, in 2013 and 2015, rather. Palace Super Falcons was also runners-up in 2014 in Port Elizabeth. So this tournament has really set the pace and the tone for a number of players who have gone on to greener pastures, as this match fast reaches the 1 hour mark, one change apiece for either side. Amlazi, Kingswelletini is where it's all happening. The weather, the sun continues to blaze, but not to dampen the spirit of the players on the park. They continue to give it their all. On the ball, Taryn January, Onelisa, the 27-year-old, tall. Oh, she does everything in slow motion with precision, as the goalkeeper has an urgency about it. They've got 2 goals to try and cover. Onelisa, Nanasele, former Thunderbirds players, 10 goal attempts each. And when you look at those 44 goals, you're still looking at 2 joint goal scorers from City Lads and Lindelani. That's Vilagazi as well as Nanasele. They are on display as your 2 sharp shooters with 4 goals apiece. Tall, keeping possession, and apologizes to her teammates. Andisiwe Ndesi just in that pocket. But here is Lindelani, overcooked. Keeper is very calm as Pumeza Vimbi Kola Mabena. Onelisa, she's all over the park, is Onelisa, ball over the top, and here's an opportunity. Can she take a strike? Nwabisa, Nwabisa, 30-year-old, again, patience, keeping possession, but again just guilty of giving away. Here's Lindelani, hacked forward up front. They outnumbered up in defense, as City are playing a very organized defensive game, making sure that Ayanda, Bottoman and Yolisa as well as Pumeza are in full control. And as they say, the best way to attack is by having a very good defense. $254 passes for Lindelani, 245. Not that much difference between the two sides in terms of that keeper. Looking very comfortable. Called out good communication between the back line in the middle of the park. It's Captain Andisiwe Ndesi, a player that Mkonza really loved. We're talking about Skesha out in the East Rand, the former Banyana coach. The father to Dr. Mnandi. Almost 65 minutes on the clock. 3 groups. Vasco da Gama on day 3, 9 goals were scored as Vasco won 3-1 against City Lads. Lindelani won 2-1 against the team from the Free State. Cruces and TS Galaxy played to a 2-0 result in favor of Cruces. In day 2 was 17 goals that were scored in the tournament, as Discopian played cruises. The biggest winners on the day was Vasco da Gama winning by 8 goals to 1 against Royal Wizards. But on day 1, let's have a look at the shot. With a little more purpose, could have got a little bit of curl, as that would have really been one of those moments for Lindelani to pull one back. Keeper was way off a line. Keeper was way off a line. It looked like Lungile Mhlongo, but that will be very encouraging after 65 minutes. Tuli, lizaphuma phi goal. Lindelani is struggling making the change as Londega come on for Lungile Mhlongo, and that was the last touch of the vice captain. So they are trailing by 2 goals. They need to pull one back very quickly in order to get back into the match, Tuli.
Ngempela Gloria kuzofanele bathi ukuphakamisa amasokisi abaselindelani kaloku lokho hayi bazoyikhomba indawo laphana ke kuyona ke Hollywood Bets Super League. Ngibona ke benza ke olunye ke ushintsho, ngibona manje bafaka uLondeka Ndlovu. Olondeka Ndlovu ebhola ke eliphumele ke ngaphandle. Lindelani ke namhlanje mayishawa bazobe ke beshawa ke okokuqala ke kulo tournament, bashawa futhi emidlalweni ke obucayi ongafanele ngempela ukuthi ke ebashawe, ngoba umkhumula jezi lo washawa la uyagoduka. Lindelani umdlalo wabo ke owokuqala bawunqoba ngo-2-0 noma ke ngo-4-1. Umdlalo wawo wesibili bawunqoba ke ngo-2-1. Namhlanje ezinto ke ezithanda ukuthi ke zibe nzima. Nopepe uthi ke play on nange lapha laphana ke uLungile Mhlongo bamdlalisa kabi. uNopepe uthi ke akube ke i-free kick leya uyinikeza iLindelani. Ohlezi phansi uLungile Mhlongo, bayangena ke bazombheka ke yena ke uLungile Mhlongo, kodwa ke ibhola ke libekwa phansi. Nopepe ukhuluma ke nokapteni weCity Lets Andisiwe Ndesi. Asibone ke le free kick ukuthi ke kukhona yini abazokuthola abaselindelani, ngoba ke isikhathi ngempela ke asibalindile. Londeka Ndlovu ungena nje khona manje oyena ke othatha ke le free kick nange iphakamisa, kodwa hayi le free kick phuma nje kude ke namapali, angazi ngoba akukho ke nomoya la eKingswellithini Stadium ukuthi leliya bhola ke ulishaye kanjani. La vele nje la ngaya ngisho ukuya ke emapalini. Goal kick ibekwa phansi. Yazi ugoalkeeper weCity Lets uAmanda Nteyi awuseholidini kulomdlalo, akaze nje abambe ke amabhola ke anzima. Defense yakhe imkhavela ke ngempela. Ibhola nje lifika selipholile kuyena, naba manje ke ebelisusa. Asibone ngakwesokunxele ke bafuna onelisa. Ibhola ke laseke livinjwa libuyele emuva futhi ke kuyona ke iCity Lets. Baseke belikhiphela ke ngaphandle January laphana ke uTerren. Yaxosha manje ke iCity Lets onelisa. Yabona ke makukhuluma ngomdlalo onestamina. Ukhunyunywa ngo-Onelisa, uyabona mangabe i-team yakhe i-defender ukhona uyalekelela emuva, mangabe futhi seyihlasela iyofuna igoli ukhona. Ngikhuluma nje nangeduze ke kwebhola yena ke Onelisa, nange manje ke kapteni Andisiwe Ndesi ufuna yena Onelisa, base bemlahla phansi uthi uNompepe sukuma Andisiwe. Ebhola leli ke kuyadlalwa, asibone manje ke leya phasi, kodwa yaseke beyivale yaphinde yalwina futhi iyona ke iCity Lets iJanuary Terren. Ebhola ke ilikhiphela ke ngaphandle manje ke iLindelani eKingswellithini Stadium. Sibona ke ngempela ke uSafa President Danny Jordan ukhona la eKingswellithini Stadium, omunye ke wezicukuthwane ezikhona ke ukuzokwenza isiqiniseko ukuthi ke zonke izinto zihamba kahle ke kakhulu. Yena ke uPresident uDanny Jordan ngizokutshela nje nabanye engibabonile, kodwa ke nali ushintsho eyashintsha lapha ya futhi ke iCity Lets eyashintsha iCity Lets nangu eyashintsha iCity Lets Osipho sethu unojogo uyangena kuphuma ke Nwabisa Kolisi udlale kahle kakhulu yena ke laphana ke uNwabisa Kolisi amagoli ke amathathu awashaye ke emidlalweni ke edlule kodwa ke namhlanje akalitholanga ke igoli asibone nje iyona ke ilindelani manje ke izama ukuya phambili zethembiso Vilakazi ebhola lakhe balivimba balikhiphela ke ngaphandle balikhiphela ke ngaphandle ibhola ke lakhe la uzethembiso Vilakazi Osipho sethu unojogo naye futhi ke ungenile ke eqenjini ke layo ke iCity Lads Kosele manje 20 minutes ukuthi ke umdlalo uphele Kosele 20 minutes ukuthi ke ilindelani iligezi ijezi kuphele nje ngayo ke namhlanje ke ilindelani shaya itayela manje Onelisa awubheke le yaphasi outside foot yakhe ke yena ke Onelisa ayikodwa ke base ke beyivala manje nanke laphana ke bonga konke Mzobe sibonga konke Mzobe Amzobe na ibhola lakhe ke balithatha bafuna Onelisa iyamshaya ke ifirst touch asibone manje ke amajubane ebhola ke uyaxosha Lungelo umsweli oyalungisa manje ke sigcinise center inamandla Mkhize inamandla Mkhize eCity Lads ilibambile ke ibhola iyaphaselana iyaphambili fire awuthuliveza laphana ke ngaphakathi eboxini kodwa aliyavinjwa ke ibhola lakhe uphinde ke waluwina futhi uMandisa fire asibone manje ke le bhola eboxini yamshaya kodwa ke ifirst touch awuyamshaya ke ifirst touch inamandla Mkhize awuke wagijima ke eqenjini ke le Sunflower eqembu elihle kakhulu ke la KZN Sunflower elibakhiqizayo ke abadlali futhi ke libanikeza i-national team othi ke unompempe manje ke abeze ke abadlali ke bazophuza ke amanzi baphuza ke amanzi ngoba ke kuyashisa la eThekwini kuyashisa eKingswelithini Stadium athi sibheke ke le penalty ukuthi ke iyenzeke kanjani goalkeeper ke nangu ephusha ke umdlali wayo ke iCity Lads uphusha yena ke uBoyi awuthi umphushile kusho ke unompempe akubonakali kahle la kodwa umsizi kaNompempe naye ke uNompempe bathi ke umphushile ngoba ke ugoalkeeper ubengemuva uBoyi elanga phambili embeke nje la esifubeni ngempela ke ugoalkeeper ubengekafike kuleli yabhola ingakho ke esibone ke leya penalty ibekwe phansi hayi ke waseke eyibeka ke phakathi uBoyi shaya ibrace namhlanje uthi usuku lwami namhlanje ngensuku ezidlule uBoyi ke azange ashaye ke amagoli namhlanje uthi ke isipiliyoni enginaso ngifuna ke ukuthi nisibone ngifuna ke ukusebenzisa nisibone unompempe uthi azibuye manje esikhathi esiyahamba goal kick emuva ke kuthiwa abayisuse abeCity Lads bazama ke ebekude manje ke uLungelo umsweli idefender leli center back kodwa manje engathi ke sebeshintshile ama position uyabona manje ke usedlala nje la ngemuva ke kwestriker uyena futhi ke manje ke osewukapteni ngoba ke bamkhiphile uLungile Mhlongo umsweli ke uyena manje ke ofake ke ibhandi becela indlela ngakwesokunxele asibone nje ukuthi ke iCity Lads iyalithola yini igoli ke elesithathu uyabona ke emangabe belithola ke igoli lesithathu ayispikili lelo so ke eboxini angeke ize ibuye iSunflower ku 3-1 kusenzima nokuthi ke bakhahlele nje epalini leCity Lads asibone ke laphana ke ibhola ke elihle Zethembiso ibuyile futhi ke laphana ke iCity Let's fire Zethembiso ithuba lapha uyabhakuza inethi yabhakuza inethi super sub Nomfundo uCulu shaya igoli elisetshenziswe ngempela ufire Zethembiso Vilakazi bese ke waqedela umsebenzi yena ke uNomfundo uXulu iscore manje sithi 2-1 isikhathi isisekhona yabona nje into engikuthembisa ngayo ebholeni lamantombazana ukuthi amagoli ayashawa amagoli awukho umdlalo la selokhu iqalile itournament esike sabona iDroga not amagoli esiyawabona namanje njengoba ke sikumzuzu ka75 sithi ke 2 City Let's 1 iyona ke ilindelani asizwe kuwena Gloria ukuthi igoli elinye sisazolibona na.
Well, here you are as Lindelani have drawn one back and one is expecting that Lindelani will go for full throttle. That ball delivered into the danger area, but goalkeeper shepherds that into touch. Lindelani pull one back through Nomfundo Ulu. Beautiful, well-worked goal by Lindelani. Tembiso had a hand to it, and that ball ricocheting off the hand of Nomfundo comfortably into the goalkeeper. The 2-goal heroine today, Nandi Paboy, who got the opening goal that got us started in this match in as early as the 38th minute, and then followed up by a penalty after the goalkeeper just also guilty of holding back Nandi Paboy. Mr. Vilakazi looking on and looking very anxious. He knows what this moment means. Here's an opportunity for Lindelani. Tabile still on the edge of the box, waltzing away. Good run, not spotted. And that ball, had it been much better, as Unako tidies up for City Lads. It's Lindelani coming up, all guns blazing, falls backwards. They would need to regroup, build from the back yet again. Nozipo. Tall, tidies up. Ayanda. We call her ace, but easy pickings for goalkeeper Amanda. As far as Lungelo. Lungelo waltzing away, playing the 1-2, puff and pass. Have a look at Lungelo, doing well to stay on her feet, bringing that ball back. Lindelani with the chance to get the equalizer. Dilly-dallying and oh no. That was enough for keeper to get her hands on the ball. Let me share with you. Tuli is on her feet. I told y'all that she supports Lindelani. In the box, she thought that was the equalizer. And here we are, as Lindelani will believe that they've got the bite, they've got the power to get back and get all even. Yoliswa. It's City Lads. Andisiwe Ndesi on the ball for City Lads. 80 minutes. Passing with the outside foot, but losing out. Nozipo winning it back for Lindelani. Nomfundo is available. Msweli. Vilakazi, puff and pass, Vilakazi. Oh, the return pass wasn't good enough. But that was a beautiful move by Lindelani. And this is what they known to be playing. But he puff and pass. Oh, Look at that. Vilagazi eliminates one, eliminates two, gets into position. All she needed was a good return ball. Wasn't to be. Here's City Lads. 2-1 the scoreline, 80 minutes on the clock, 10 minutes to go plus referee's optional time. Many coaches will tell you these are the crucial moments. Squeaky bum time. Coaches are anxious. One back. Here's Lindelani. Another attack. They've got the numbers. Here's Vilagazi. Eliminates one. Decent ball. Dissects the defense. Oh! Just a little too strong for Nomfundo, the goal scorer. But she wins it back. Nomfundo. Mzobe. Oh, and Spesihle for City Lads. Wins it comfortably for the goalkeeper. That will be made easy, and she chews some precious minutes on the clock. Let me also take this opportunity to wish Banyana good luck in their friendly match against Zambia tomorrow, as they start with their preparations for their clash against Algeria in the Women's Cup of Nations qualifying up against the North Africans. The last time that Banyana played, it was up against Mozambique, and first leg was a 6-0 drubbing and ending up in a 13-0 aggregate score for that. So Desiree Ellis and her Chargers. Desiree Ellis and her Chargers preparing for the AFCON. Shot from distance! Keeper gets a touch, and oh, good save. And Onelisa took a little bit and nibbled on the fingers as well of the goalkeeper, Nobile. Oh, but she did enough. Had that been a goal, it would have been, well, game, set and match, as they say. And some say the final nail in the coffin, whichever way you look at it, as Lungelo will waltz. He had the very, very energetic Nomfundo losing out. And that is desperation and anxiety. 2-1 the scoreline. Here's a goalkeeper, Nobile Biela. The earlier shot that was taken by Siposetu, and that was a brilliant save. Did well to get up very quickly, and the second save was brave. And that's when Siposetu just nibbled on the fingers as well. Oh, and that is painful. She knows that was pretty close, but it's still Lindelani on the ball with a bit of belief. On the edge of the box, hacked away. They've got the numbers, is City Lads. Oh, into Unako. Oh, some lovely skill. Goal attempts 14 for Lindelani. They're pretty tight and almost even in terms of the goal attempts. And the foul committed 10 and 5. And you can see that the more grittier of the two sides, definitely Lindelani. And passing accuracy, very little between the two in terms of the total passes. But again, what we haven't really seen that much of is the corner kicks. One thing about football, women's football, if you also look at the time the ball plays is kept infield, is much, much longer. They hardly take the ball out. Here's a chance for Lungelo, comfortably into the hands of Amanda. Every match that has been played, we do get to choose a disky queen, but it has gone very, very well for Snetembiso Vilagazi. And also for Vasco da Gama, you've had Irene Joachim, you've got Mika Minis also. And just remember that this is the first of two semi-finals. The second semi-final will take place later on this afternoon. And that is between Vasco da Gama and Cruces of Gauteng. Vasco da Gama, who hail from the Western Cape. One thing about development of football in the Western Cape, it's definitely on point. You'll remember players like Japi, Wahida Sali, Anthea Charles, Desiree Ellis. That's where they hail from in the Western Cape. The last 5 minutes of the match. in the middle of the park. City lads. Sipho Setu Nochoko on the ball. Sipho Setu brings in Spesihle on the ball. Pickpocketed as Sibonga Gonke tries to launch another attack. Confirmation of the scoreline at present. City lads in the lead by 2-1. Truly, last 5 minutes. Do you think Uguti Lindelani is going to get an equalizer?
2-1 ngempela eKingswell Stadium isikhathi siyahamba ayilishone emini manje ke liyashonela iLindelani yellow card nomfundo xulu odlale kabi ke umshayi ke wegoli ke layo ke iLindelani leli ke sikhuluma ngalo njengoba ke sithi ke 2-1 yellow card yokuqala ke nange bayambhala free kick ibekwa phansi Othiwa ke akube ke iyona iyayo ke iCity lads. Anandipha Aboyi. Amagoli ngempela elikaBoyi lokuqala wayishakuyena ugoalkeeper yaphuma ke ezandleni zakhe esathi 1-0 ngesombe esokuqala. Waphinde futhi ke wabuya ke yena futhi ke uBoyi penalty bemlahla ke phansi waseke sukuma ke ethi cha le ngiyazithathela waqeda ke ngogoalkeeper wayo ke iLindelani unqobile ebiyela sathi ke 2-0 ayabuya iLindelani yathi umdlalo ke awukakapheli badlala i1-2 banika-nikana lapha ngaphakathi eboxini uvilakazi zethembiso ephasela kamnandi ufire wasewuqede lelinye ithuba lapha 2-2 Kusele 3 minutes umdlalo uphele bavele balala phansi bahlala phansi abadlali ke beCity lads bebethi sebeqedile kanti ke umdlalo ke webhola ulawulo unompempe mayingakabukhali impempe umdlalo ke usuke ungakapheli zethembiso vilakazi lo mdlali Gloria uzokunika yonke into oyifunayo kodwa ushintsho olukhulu umqeqeshi weLindelani uthathe iCenter back uLungelo Msweli wamsusa lapha emuva wambeka la emuva kweyistriker nange manje uzethembisa uyena owenza nama-passes amahle lapha ingakho sibona iLindelani seyikwazi ukufika lapha emapalini buka manje bathola igoli kusele nje 2 minutes umdlalo uphele asibone ke ukuthi ke kule mzuzwana ke esele sizolibona yini ke futhi ke elinye ke igoli esombe esesibili 2 Lindelani 2 iCity lads Lindelani nomfundo asibone ke lapha ke uLungelo ozama ungena eboxini zethembiso hayi kodwa ke khona kick iyavutha phe iLindelani manje iyavutha phe iLindelani manje khona kick Lungelo Msweli uyena owenza i-team idlale usukile emuva wadlala nje la ngemuva ke kweyistriker nange futhi ke yena uLungelo Msweli uneminyaka u25 zalwa kwamashu ke hayi siyazi la kuzalwa khona abadlali bebhola osiyandaxulu baphuma kwamashu iLindelani iyalincenga nje lapha esingise center iyahlasela manje ke ithi nje sihlomise okugcina isikhathi siya ke ngasemaphethelweni nangu nomfundo Xulu umshayi wegoli lokuqala bamthathela kodwa uXulu awucontrola umdlalo manje ke iLindelani Lindelani engathi akuyona ke le kade siyibona ke ngesombe sokuqala angazi ukuthi ke kungani bengadlalanga kanje umdlalo ke uqala uyabona manje bayicindezele manje ke iCity lads noma bethi bazama bayaphambili sibona ke umnyakazo weCity lads uzama ukushaya kude lapha hayi goalkeeper muhlu goalkeeper weLindelani hayi khona kick Lindelani ke iya defender manje. Eya defender ilindelani ibhola ke kuthiwa ke alibuye ke manje elizophoswa. Kuthiwa ke alibuye ke elizophoswa. Ngibona ke nange ngale uOnelisa uya ke kumsizi kaNompempe. Uyothatha ke corner kick. Corner kick. 90 minutes yavele ke yahlangana kuthiwa kuzokwengezwa 3 minutes. Onelisa uyayiphakamisa ke leya corner kick ifuna amakhanda awayibamba goalkeeper welindelani inqobile ibiyela 18 years of age ufunda ke ugrade 11 uvimba kahle kakhulu ke yena laphana ke unqobile. Uyabona ke umdlalo ke uma uphela ke ngale draw ka 2-2 ayikho ke iextra time. Ayikho iextra time siya nje straight kuona ke ama penalty. Free kick endaweni eyingozi. Le free kick iphezulu kwe-D-line itholwa ke iCity Lads. Ngibheka umdlalo ofana noAndisi Wendesi la. Ngibheka uBoy uNandipha. Ukuthi ke ibona abazobe ke ebephezulu kwalo ke leliya bhola. Kodwa ke ugoalkeeper welindelani awuvimba kahle kakhulu. uBoy uNalco umntanase. Free kick udonga lolindelani lakhiwe abadlali abahlanu. uBoy ephezulu kwebhola. uBoy ushaya lapha madoda. Hayi qawe namhlanje Nandipha uBoy uGlory ajabula la angazi ukuthi yini emjabulisayo kodwa ke mahla amagoli kaNandipha egoli lesithathu emdlalweni wenza isiqiniseko ukuthi ke iqembu lakhe liyangena ke kuona ama finals susa ngokusheshsha ilindelani 3-2 iscore. Wayibeka nje last khona ukuthi ngeke azafike. Goalkeeper unqobile ebiyela. Yazi umdlalo uzophela. Ilindelani izoligeza ijezi. Uzophela umdlalo. Kodwa ke ilindelani idlale nabo ilanga liyoshona. Yazi ilanga lishona emini nje. Azange baqala isombe sokuqala ngendlela abasiqeda ngawe umdlalo. Uyabona kubeke umdlalo wabo bawudlala kanje ngesombe sesibili usuka. Ngabe sikhuluma enye indaba ilindelani. Anompempe ke nangethi ke alibuye ke ibhola ke libekwe phansi ilindelani. Oyinikeza ke ibhola ukuthi ke abalibeke phansi free kick eduze komqeqeshi. Uvilakazi ubambele nje izandla zakhe la eqolo nange uNompempe uqeda ke umdlalo. Hayi ke bajabula ke kufanele abantwana ke base City Lads ngempela abayangena ke kuona ke ama finals. Abona ke abadlali ke beCity Lads yase Eastern Cape ama finals ngesonto asazi ke ukuthi ke bazowadlala nobani ngoba isemi final yesibili phakathi kweCruisers yase Gauteng. Ngibone abadlali abanesipiliyoni lapha bayakhala abadlali belindelani zethembiso vilakazi dlale kahle kakhulu tournament yonke odlale kahle kakhulu uzethembiso nange noThabile osikhakhane ke naye ke futhi ke obe yidefender ke ebedlala kahle kakhulu abantwana ke bayo ke iladies sekuyolunga ke ngelinye ilanga ke kuyona ke ilindelani City Lads ilona ke iqembu lokuqala elingena ke kuyona ke ifinal score 2 ilindelani 3 iCity Lads amagoli amathathu amagoli amathathu akhe ke uBoyi athi sibheke nje shot on target 17-17 uzubone nje ukuthi umdlalo ke kade ke uhlangene kanjani obheka ama passes nakhona futhi konke ke kusondelene ball possession 48 kuyona ke ilindelani kanti 52 kuyona ke iCity Lads ama corner kick sithole ke awu9 6 kwilindelani 3 kuyona ke laphana ke iCity Lads kanti ke futhi ke besikhala isicathulo obheke nje ukuthi ke umdlalo ke kade usondele kanjani ball possession ngapha ke kuyona ke ilindelani 48 52 Boyi eqhawe lamagoli ke amathathu obheke nje futhi ke nayo futhi ke ama tackles ukuthi ke ayibengena iyona ke iCity Lads benza ke isiqiniseko ukuthi ke bayayithatha indawo laphana ke kuyona ke ifinal iyayo ke iSasol Champions kuyona ke la eKingswell Ithini Stadium kodwa ke thina ke siyasithatha manje ke intambo siya lapha ya ezantsi kuvusiwe Ngcobo usiphathele iDisc Queen usiphathele abaqeqeshi.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu to commentary team yethu namhlanje siphathele kahle kakhulu umsebenzi we-commentary uthulisile Mia kanye futhi naye ke uGloria Brown. What an exciting encounter we've had here in the Sasol National Playoffs. Who could have thought it would literally come down to the last minute, and it is the Eastern Cape side that walk away victorious here today and make their way into the final of these national playoffs. And of course, joining me now we do have the sponsorship manager for Sasol, Dean Somerset. He will be announcing to us the Disc Queen for today's encounter. Dean, a good afternoon to you. What an encounter we've had. Can you reveal to us the Disc Queen for today?
Well, it's my pleasure to introduce the Disc Queen for today's game, and that award goes to Nandipa. What a great show of football from her side. Congratulations.
Nandipa boy there walking away with 1,500 rand. She is the Disc Queen of the match, and rightly so. A hat trick for you namhlanje Nandipa. Asiqale sikhulume ngokuthi uzizwa kanjani ukuthi iqembu lakho libe lakwazi ukuthi lifike ku semi-final phambi kokuthi sikhulume ngeperformance yakhe namhlanje.
Thank you so much Sisi. Cela ukubonga kuqala kuyiSasol sponsorship sethu. Sisebenzile as a team. Nangona bekushushu. But ndicela ubonga nako coach wami ne management yethu since last year sisebenza until ngoku.
Wayithola ke hat-trick yakho namhlanje noma kunzima kushisa kanje la eThekwini?
Ndimamele instructions zaka coach because he always support me when it comes to set pieces, so ndenze exactly what coach mama ndenze, so that's where ndiscore khona as a goal 3.
Nandipa, congratulations sizokubona ngesonto ku final.
Inkosi kakhulu sisi nami ngicela ubukulela ne fans zethu Eastern Cape. Thank you so much guys for your support.
That is of course Nandipa boy finding a hat trick in this afternoon's encounter to send her team straight to the finals. And moving on to the Hollywood Bets Super League, we do now bring in the losing coach here today, Coach Nkosinathi Vilakazi. Coach, I guess let's sikhulume nge first half. Sibonile ukuthi iLindelani ithola amathuba amaningi kodwa just not able to convert in that final third.
It happens in the game. When you lose the chances you get, it happens like this. At the end, the opponent will come and capitalize from your mistake. Then you lose the game.
Coach, we saw you bringing in a super sub, Unomfundo Xulu, who found the back of the net for you in your opener. And also just talk us through that tactical change with Ulungelo Msweli, Omusumshintsha la ebedlala khona.
Ulungelo Msweli is a striker actually. So she has a timing, that's why she's playing at the back. So when things are tough like this, at times we push her forward to try and get a luck. So that's what happened today. We needed to play more than what we were doing in the first half. So we needed players we have confidence in the ball, like Ulungelo Msweli. So I believe it wasn't to be. That's why I never get a chance.
And Coach, you also didn't have your captain here today, and you could feel that absence of her on the field.
Of course. We really missed her. And she's a playmaker. She's doing for the team. So when she's not around, we could see even from the players that they feel that she's not there. So they tried their best to do it for her so that she could be in the final, but it wasn't to be her best.
Hard luck, Coach. Hard luck here this afternoon.
Thank you.
All right, we bring in the victorious coach representing the Eastern Cape, coach wayoge City Lads, coach Terry Mkhwehwe. Coach Ushilo sisangena kulo mdlalo wathi there's no second round, there's no second leg, you just need to get the job done, and you managed to do that.
Just on the referee's optional time, pickpocketing them, and that was the end of it. But at the game-wise, we managed to play two paces, very, very high intense game and a slower game just because of the heat. I said before, we played 2 games in the morning and in the afternoon, and then at least that heat, we know something now what's going on. Hence we had to adapt to play at a higher intensity. At times we lower our intensity so that we can last for the 90 minutes. But somehow the lapse of concentration was there, and then we conceded 2 goals, and then it was again that robbery thing at the end, the free kick, and then we stole it.
You did say by crook or whatever means possible, coach. Let's talk about just the spirit of the team. Noma sanibona ukuthi you are now 2-2. Nayo futhi ilindelani, just a never die spirit and still pushing through until that final whistle.
You can never take anything away from Lindelani. It's a good side. It's a good side. But there are really young kids that are very running, and they didn't give up. And we were trying to encourage all the laces not to give up. The time is gone. It's not going to be, and yet we conceded. But at the same time, we had to push on even when there's the optional time. There's time. Anything happens in football. And at the game, there was a winner. There had to be a winner in there.
Certainly, congratulations, coach. We will see you in Sunday's final.
Thanks, ma'am.
That is coach Terry Mkhwehwe of Yonaye City Lads. Certainly happy here, walking away 3-2 victors and finding themselves in Sunday's final. It really does all come down to that. And of course, which team in women's football doesn't want to play in the Hollywood Bets Super League? I said it at halftime. Nandi Paboy making all the difference for her team with that 1-0 lead going into that halftime break. And once again, after 90 minutes of play, she made all the difference once again, finding that goal and her hat trick, which led them eventually to the victory. We will of course be with you later on this afternoon to bring you the second semi-final of the Sasol National Playoffs. But for now, we do go to an ad break. After the break, the team in studio dissect and analyze this exciting, thrilling encounter we've witnessed in the Sasol National Playoffs.
Sasol, proud partners of women's football.
South Africa.
Dit was dan ons geluk geweest die Saterdagoggend dat die rooftog ingekom het.
Grand theft.
Die geld is gevat. Dit was 'n groot klomp geld geweest wat geroof was.